Aloha everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Marissa Indigo with Divine DNA Blueprint Mystery School, streaming in with the Aquarian transmissions. So we're a few days away from the sun going into the sign of Aquarius, and wow, I've been experiencing just these amazing observations and encounters with others, and wow, it feels like, okay, yes, the Aquarian age is coming in. We are the doulas, the midwives, the birthers, the dreamers, the earth angels of this new era that we are seeding right now. Star seed crystals going in. On January 14th, I had the experience of feeling very spatial. Like I felt like I was a nebulous cloud, just a cloud of trillions of particles that was somehow moving in unison and holding together. And I thought, oh my God, I got to get out into the forest here and ground in with the earth. And that's where the Aquarian transmission started coming through. And just enjoying this new perspective. It's very humanitarian. That's why we say the key code of this could be, earth angels, human angels. And I like to put that word together, human and angels. So humangels, right? Seeing these amazing opportunities for conscious connection and communication. And one of the visions we've had, since childhood, how things would be handled is much more indigenous, if you will, much more council fire. So the boardroom, the chat thread, everything is like, hey, let's sit around the council fire together. Pull up to the council fire together and bring up a topic, and then everyone throw their 2 cents in, like we're making a recipe together, right? This council way. And that's really what we've seen for so long of how what we formerly would call government. We don't love that word. It means to govern the mind, right? To control the mind. So leadership is a nice higher octave. Those who are in charge of larger projects that affect groups of people, it's much more of a communal effort. So we're seeing this with even our business colleagues. Someone will bring something up and say, well, I feel like this about this, it's not a no, it's not a yes necessarily, like this is what I'm getting. And allowing the creation, the co-creation, the communal input, that energy to merge and blend and to make this soup or this potion from which after the alchemy is complete, you feel that completion. It's, okay, cool. Now we know we're going to move forward with this, or we're going to take this action. We're going to do this with it. It's showing us this. I'm feeling this. And then being out and about, just doing normal life tasks. So for example, this is some of the human angel in action, is just going out there and getting to enjoy being an angel, being kind to others, random acts of kindness, doing the right thing, just being a being of love, simply, right? No ego, just, oh gosh, this should be done. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. I see it. I spot it. I'm going to do it. See something, do something, it was meant for me to take that action. It's not about any gratuity. It's just doing the right thing. And that feels really good. So here's an example. This morning I had to go down to the water site. We get water from an aquifer. It comes out of the earth, beautiful artesian aquifer. And so I have 3 5-gallon bottles, and I pull up, there's quite a few men there, old timers there, and all kinds of people. And I notice, oh my God, it's totally iced over around the mouth of the water where people have to walk to set their bottles down and fill them up and walk away. I was like, whoa, this is not safe. So filled up my bottles of water, was enjoying hanging out. I love going to the water spot because there's always all kinds of individuals there. So it's really fun to connect with humanity and just get a read, connect, see where people are that day. How can you bring them with some sparkle, or share sparkle depending on where they are. So I went home, I got a box of salt, and I salted over that whole iced over area. And one of the same men I was talking to is 81 years old. He was energized as if he were 45. He was spunky and sparky and full of vinegar, full of piss and vinegar, as they would say. And he's a veteran. He said, oh, thank you so much for salting that. You saved someone from getting a titanium hip. And I said, yeah, I realized maybe I should drive around with some salt in my car so that when there are things that are iced that could hurt somebody, you don't want people to get injured. And that's a thing about the Pacific Northwest is the ice, something to be aware of. And it's very rare that it happens and not for a long amount of time. So people just aren't as prepared. And so that felt really good. And then I'm walking on the trails to ground some more today and come across this sweet guy with his dog. And we just had some fun talking and just casual jokes. And then I walked on. He was talking about his dog smelling the leaves and how every leaf has a story. And I thought that was so sweet that he said that. And I said, can you imagine being a dog, how lucky they are, how much information they get to receive through the olfactory? And he's laughing. It's like, can you imagine? Like, we would never leave the forest. We would just smell everything. It would take a while until we were complete and satisfied with what we could receive through that sensory information. He's laughing. And I walk on. And then I come across him later on the path. And so I thought, oh, well, we're crossing for a reason. Let's stop and have a chat, we'll stop and chat. And he was just sharing being from the area and a little bit about his stories. And then he shared that his wife passed away a year ago and that there was a memorial to her here in the park, in the garden. And I thought, oh my God, I just saw that memorial when I was looking at a water feature here in the park. So how wild, you look at the trees. It's a newly planted tree, and I looked at it and I looked at the placard, and this person was called Mighty Mo. She was an amazing contributor to the parks department and very passionate, and she passed away a year ago, he shared. So it was a moment where I realized like, oh wow. And so just to be there and to listen and to laugh and share some light, share something positive. And he was kind of sharing his dismay at some of the things that he sees in the shifts of the region and the country and all kinds of things. And I said, yeah, there's plenty of room for improvement. We're laughing. Nope. So I said to him, there's lots to see right now. That's, not always easy to see. And I said, also, when we look for magic or beauty or good in the world, we will find it. It's important to remember that. He said, yeah. I said, that's why I come to the forest. I said, we're so lucky to be here. He's like, yeah. And he was just totally lit up. And it was such an emotional experience for me too to be there because I could feel his grief. And we have compassion for that, for sure. There are a lot of people going through grief of shifts and, loss, what they perceive to be loss. There is a lot of death right now. And if you're not studying these topics that we're so blessed to have exposure to and to share, it's tough, right? So, knowledge is power. Love is power. Being a human angel is really fun. Feels really good, and just with these small moments, small present moments with another, can share some of that light with them, right? And we're all walking each other home. So there's these lovely little ways. And so this is my share for the Aquarian transmission as we are preparing to go into the Aquarian age, seeing this beautiful opportunity for us to connect more with the hearts of others, with the hearts of ourselves, with the hearts of humanity itself, and to really restore these sacred connections. They're like a crystalline grid among people, building that sacred. So thank you so much for tuning in. I encourage you to follow through with the creative or inspired impulse to live from your divinity today, to live as an angel today, and to feel how good that feels, how moving it can be to share that with others. And again, it can be a stranger at the gas station, grocery store, walking on the nature trail, your neighbor as you're pulling up your trash cans. Simple, easy, and so organic. So thank you so much. Sending you so much love and appreciation and blessings. And we'll see you soon.